Alright, so I had to dust off the camera for this one. Yesterday we had the Xbox 2020 showcase, and in this video we're going to go over everything that we seen yesterday. Before we get into it, don't forget to like and subscribe and leave a comment down below. It really helps out the channel and really helps give me the motivation to keep on making videos for you guys. Let's get right into the video. Alright, and first we're going to talk about the game that everybody wanted to see, including myself, and that is Halo Infinite. Halo Infinite was a game that I am really excited to see. Definitely one of my most anticipated games of the year, and Halo is a special franchise to me, and I was really hoping to see them turn this game into something that I'm really excited for, and I really can't wait to see, because truth be told, Halo 4 and 5 just didn't do it for me. Actually, just to be honest with you, Halo kind of ended with Halo 3 for me. Everything beyond there has just been completely subpar and went in a direction that I did not enjoy. It's just the way it is. Even Bungie's Halo Reach. Halo Reach had a great campaign, but the multiplayer just didn't do it for me. So I've been really waiting to see something come out with Halo that is really going to spark my interest, something to get me back into it again, because with the release of Halo 3 on PC in the Master Chief Collection just recently, I've been getting back into Halo 3, and I've been playing that game a lot lately, and I have been loving every minute of it. It makes me feel just like it did playing back in 2007 with all my friends. But anyways, with this game, they were claiming that they were going to get back to the roots of Halo and, you know, kind of go in a different direction. That's what they were kind of leaning towards in this game. And with what we did see from the 8-minute demo that they had, I don't know. I didn't really see much of that. I mean, one thing I can definitely say is I do like the art style, and I do like the armor choice of Master Chief again, too. But let me just say that I think with this demo, they took it in the wrong direction. I think that the section that they showed off was very underwhelming, and they could have just done so much better. I was thinking, in my personal opinion, what they could have done, especially to show off the graphics, because what they showed off with the graphics, it looked good, but it wasn't nothing to like really blow your mind as what you expect out of Halo, like when we seen Halo 3. And anyways, they could have showed off starting in the gameplay with like the beginning of what Halo 3 was, starting off in like a dense forest to really show off the graphics and lighting and things like that in contrast. But what we got is they just dropped us in an open world, looked around a couple times. Oh, look, there's a ship flying overhead. Oh, look, there's clouds in the distance. And look, there's a big open world that we're dropped in here. Let's hop into a warthog, go shoot some stuff, look around the scenery, and that's it. But if they would have taken it in a different direction, I'd say like start off in a dense covered forest and then work their way through that and then come out into this open world and then show it just open up, almost like a Fallout moment. And if they would have done that with this trailer and a Halo to just bring us to that point where they show the open world, that would have been something that would have been a jaw-dropping moment, like something really nice, and just open it up kind of like that instead of just dropping us in the middle of an open world, go shoot some stuff. That's it. Show off a couple new weapons. You know, it was just very underwhelming, but I'm not necessarily saying it looks bad, but it still does look too much like 343 Halo, I guess. Something I was hoping they were going to kind of overhaul or maybe just change up a little bit so it looked a little different. Like, as long as I can turn off hit markers and death sounds instead of like, you know, whatever happened to using shields as an indicator that you're actually shooting someone, or, you know, when someone would die, there'd be an or, you know, a death a death sound effect that's not just a bleep of letting you know that you killed someone with a grenade in the distance or something like that. You know, that kind of thing just really bothered me about Halo's multiplayer, and hopefully they I know that the beeping isn't all in campaign, but the multiplayer, that really bothered me about 343 Halo, and especially like the hit markers. There's visual signs that Bungie used in Halo before that was plenty enough to indicate that you're shooting someone, or that, you know, if you toss a random nade and you happen to kill someone, you don't need a beep to let you know that they killed you. But anyways, this is stuff that has been a long bit. But anyways, what my point of all that is trying to say that I was hoping that they were going to show us in this that they were going to take into a different direction. All we got was plopped into a big open world, and shot a couple things and showed off a couple new weapons, and that's it. What they do say that there's going to be like upgrades that can be found throughout the world and all that sort of stuff, and that kind of scares me as well, because if that stuff works its way into multiplayer, like grapple hook, if that is like a loadout, I'm not going to be happy with that. If that's like a one-time pickup off a map and you can use a grapple once to get up on a ledge or something like that, and then it's exhausted, something like that's okay. But the stuff that they do have with they're going to put in campaign has me worried about how that's going to spill over into multiplayer, and they didn't show it any multiplayer in this demo, probably because they were a little bit maybe scared of what they do have to show. Hopefully hopefully they're not, but it has me wondering if they didn't want to upset some of the older fans like myself that were kind of looking for going straight back to the roots. You know, like I don't want to say like a Halo 3 clone, but just see more things that made the simple, basic gameplay of Halo 3 fun and enjoyable to play, and not try to overdo it. That's what I've gotten from 343 Halo so far, is just that they're trying to overdo it and trying to make it like Halo into this like fantastical sort of thing without just letting it be simple and basic, and just going to, just too much. But anyways, that aside, that is the way I feel about with Halo so far. I'm not going to make a judgment on this just yet. It's not like I'm going to say, oh, it's terrible, it's crap, I'm not excited for it and all that stuff. But I was just hoping to see a better presentation. I was hoping to see more besides just a couple guns and looking around at some of the scenery. And I do like the fact that there's going to be big open landscapes that we can... It's going to be, from what I gather from what they have said, it's going to be like a sandbox type gameplay. And that is something I'm really excited to see, because I am an open world RPG fan, big fan of those kinds of games. And to drop me into an open sandbox into Halo and let me just adventure and discover and do things like that is awesome. I cannot wait for that. That sounds really, really good. But let's get some good stuff out of the way too. I am super happy to see that like brutes are back and elites are back and the grunts are back to their normal selves too, and that is very promising. I'm super happy to see that. Prometheans should be extinct. I don't ever want to see another Promethean ever again. They were the most boring, uninteresting characters. They were the most boring, uninteresting enemies to fight. They were just, it was terrible. But so to see that they're going back to brutes and elites is great. And of course, with being grunts are back, and to see hopefully be the majority of that being fighting through the campaign, is fighting through those sorts of enemies, that will make me happy too. I don't need to see something new, but I do hope that there is some new enemies along the way too. I want to see them get creative as well. And you know, I'm not saying like bring back the flood or anything, but something akin to that. You know, another threat that comes along that, you know, is something unique and different that we haven't seen before, that isn't a Promethean, or Promethean weapons. They can extinct all those as well. But all in all, I am super happy to get my hands on another Halo. This demo didn't pique my interest as much as I thought it would. I was really hoping to see something just that would blow my mind like they did back in the days of good old-fashioned Halo. I know I'm kind of all over the place in this video. It's because I didn't really write notes, and I'm just kind of saying all the thoughts on my mind and processing it as what we seen in the demo in my mind as we go talking through this video. And one other bad thing about this gameplay demo that we did see that I'm not a big fan of is the lack of the battle rifle. The battle rifle is the iconic weapon of Halo. It should have been the first damn thing in Master Chief's hands as we seen him start to play. I mean, I understand assault rifle. Yeah, Halo 1 started with the assault rifle. But the iconic weapon of Halo is the battle rifle. We wanted to see the battle rifle. I know I did. I'm sure everyone else did as well. And we didn't get to see it. I hated the Halo 4 and Halo 5 battle rifle. Halo 5 went back to hit scan instead of ballistics, which I don't know if I'm a big fan of either. I kind of liked even though it was completely inaccurate sometimes, and it did have hit detection problems in the Halo 3 ballistic battle rifle. Hit scan is just kind of, I don't know. Hit scan, it's all right if it's done well. But the problem that I had big time with the battle rifle in Halo 4 and 5 was, first of all, the art style. It was just terrible. Two was the sound. It sounded terrible. Halo 3's gun actually sounded like a real assault weapon. They made the battle rifle in Halo 4 and 5 sound like some sort of futuristic military weapon that just I didn't like it at all. We'll just cut it short and say that Halo 3 actually sounded like it could have been a real weapon firing. Halo 4 and 5 sounded like garbage. Period. Um, I do see that there is a lot of promise in this game moving forward. They have a lot that can be done, and I'm not going to judge the entire game right now on, of course, what we've seen in like an 8-minute long demo. I'm just giving my thoughts and opinions on what we did see. But, the first impression was very underwhelming for me. I do think that there's going to be more to show in the future that they have. It just seems like Xbox is constantly needing a second chance here because their gameplay reveal, a month or 2 months ago came out. Everyone was disappointed. It was terrible. This showcase came out. Halo's the only game we got to see real good chunk of gameplay from. Everything else was just trailers. It's just we didn't get to see much again. Games they showed were underwhelming. But anyways, this video is going to be entirely about Halo. I'm also going to make a separate video on the showcase, which is going to feature all the other games. But I'm going to leave this one strictly just to Halo and my thoughts and opinions on what we've seen, because that was the one game that I tuned in for this to see, and the only game that I was really caring about that we've seen. And the other video, I will give what I wanted to see throughout the showcase and my impressions and all that other stuff. And in this gameplay, we did get to see a couple technical errors as well, which was popping from the clouds late in the demo, and some texture pop-in for the mountains too that came in later. Of course, I've seen all the memes. There's an up-close shot where Master Chief is meleeing one of the brutes, and it does not look very good on his face. The textures seem very kind of low res and very not detailed much at all. I know it's a small little thing, but still, we're expecting to see next generation here. We wanted to see next gen Halo. Did this demo really get across to us next gen Halo? I don't think it did. Besides the fact of showing us a big open world that still had technical errors in it, understandingly, it's still a demo and it's still early in the game, and they can still work these out. But with the Xbox being touted as the most powerful console in the world, that didn't bode very well, especially for the next generation. I mean, but we'll see. Maybe something that was just overlooked that the studio can go fix and optimize for the final release. We're hoping that will happen. The multiplayer aspect of this game is something that I'm definitely worried about, because I want it to go back to just simple, basic gameplay. And I know they could easily do that with just one playlist, and an old school playlist that could just be something that's made like for us old school people that really loved Halo 2 and 3. Basic gameplay, no sprint, pickups on the map, things like that make it really basic and simple. They could really do that, but I'm still hoping that they don't base the multiplayer around the way that they had Halo 4 and 5. I would love to see a big type of gameplay, like, something, I'm not going to say like a Battle Royale, but something on a larger scale. But they have tried that before in the past with Halo 5 too, and I don't think it really worked out that well. I mean, it just didn't really have that Halo feel to it. It was just, I guess it was something for a certain crowd, whatever demographic they're trying to go to with that game. But I don't know. It wasn't for me. I would like to see something different, though. My thoughts on that, I'm not really sure exactly what I would like to see. But they could definitely do something new with a new gameplay, a new game type that we could see out of this game to make everyone happy. But mainly, I just want to see them go back to the straight roots of Halo and go back to the basic, fun, exciting gameplay that was 1, 2, and 3. I don't want any other garbage, no filler, no other crap. They don't need to go try to like, oh look, there's too much out of the gameplay. We got to do all this crazy stuff because they're trying to impress people. But what it's actually just doing is going to turn a lot of people off to it as well, unless they're really just trying to go for a whole new crowd out of Halo and not appease to the fans that fell in love with the game in the first place, that made Halo what it is today, along with Bungie, of course. But I think the grapple hook can be a cool addition. if used in very, very small doses. Campaign, yeah, I love it for campaign. I think it'll be okay for campaign. I'm totally okay with the sprint and stuff like that being thrown into campaign to help us traverse the land a lot bigger, since it will be big. It's not necessary because we're going to have a warthog and probably ghosts and things like that to move around, but I mean, to have a grapple hook is kind of cool because if there's like secrets up on ledges that are hidden that you have to use the grapple hook to get, that is definitely a cool and welcomed addition to gameplay that I can see myself enjoying along with many other people. You know, but I like I said, I just hope you're not gonna see that in multiplayer where you can hook a dude, pull him at you, and then just melee him twice and kill him or something like that. I really don't want to see that. I don't think a lot of other people do as well. Um, but all in all, I mean, I'm still excited for Halo Infinite. I can't wait for this game to drop. I can't wait to run through the campaign and see what's in store. I don't know. We don't know what's going to happen in the game yet. But all I can say is that the main enemy does look cool. And it definitely has me intrigued to find out more as to what his plans are, or their plans are, and what kind of real threat we're going to be fighting against in this game. Halo has a special place for me in my heart. Always has, always will. Halo 3 is one of my favorite multiplayer games of all time. I got into Halo 2. Halo 2 is actually the very first game I ever played on Xbox Live. But it was toward the like the it was on the 360, but it was toward the launch of Halo 3 when I started to get into it. So I didn't have a very long run playing multiplayer on Halo 2, which all my friends and most people that I do know look back on Halo 2 as their nostalgic time, but mine was Halo 3. And because of that game, I really got into multiplayer games and Halo to begin with, and that has me super excited for this game because I've come this far, as you can see right there. I was there on midnight for that game. That's how much of a fan I am and have been of this franchise. And I just want to see it go in the right direction. I want to see 343 succeed. I love this franchise, and I don't ever wish anything bad to happen to it. I don't ever wish for it to go in a bad direction. That's why if there's any sort of criticism I have for this game, it's all constructive. And it's never to put down them or say it's just terrible just to be terrible, or like haters will do. You'll never see me doing that with this franchise. If I ever do critique it, it's only because I want it to get better. And I would hope that 343 can take advice from some of the people that have loved this franchise since day one, and help push it towards, appealing to them as well, along with new players, because I know that is the goal of every development team, is to always try to appeal for new players. But this is a special franchise to a lot of people that you can't mess with too much. You got to keep them in mind, because they're the people that will always keep coming back. New players might not. They might see it and you might try to appeal to a new crowd, and then they'll look at it and be like, that's not for me either, and then it'll just go away. But then people that have been following the game since day one are the people that will continue to come back if you just make sure that the game is still familiar to them. I could talk about Halo forever, but I'm going to cut this video short as of now, and just say that I am really still excited for Halo Infinite. I'll be picking it up day one regardless. I want to play it on PC and the Xbox One. I'm going to be doing that for a while on the Xbox Series X. And I really look forward to seeing what you got in store, 343. I can't wait to see more about this game. I do think that this game is going to sell well. I think that this game is going to... Hopefully, this game will appeal to a wide audience, and that will bring in some new players and still make the old players happy, because I know that they're going to try for both. Judging by what I've seen in this gameplay too, I was hoping for a little bit of something different besides the open world. I love that. But the gameplay wise, I was just hoping for a little bit of a different look, just something just a little bit different. Maybe even just something to pull it back a little bit. But anyways, I'm going to quit right there, and I'm going to leave the rest up to you guys to leave your thoughts and opinions down below in the comment section. I'll be there to discuss some Halo with you, and you'll be seeing me play some Master Chief Collection Halo 3 from here until launch. look for my gamer tag. If you see me, hit me up with a friend request on PC, or also hit me up with a message and let me know you seen this video, you see me playing, and we can get together and play some Halo 3. So I thank you guys for coming around and watching this video, and I thank you guys for supporting the channel in any way you can, even just a watch, subscribe. Even just you watching my video is enough for me. But y'all go enjoy some Halo, and you take care. I'm out.